biggest fight you guys had with each other?
Are you okay? You okay? What's wrong? What's
You
wrong?
okay? Okay.
Yeah, I don't need that.
She was mad. She was
I was very mad. But now that I look back on the situation, I'm like, yeah.
That was a big fight. I remember that being a big,
Yeah.
big fight.
I don't know what happened, but it worked. And she was like, you happened. And I was like, oh no. Like I said, I'm a gangster who cries. Don't judge me. Please edit that out.
No, this kind of sounds like all the signs of a serial killer.
His palm is as big as my face. Be unapologetically you and do not let anyone tell you that you are wrong for liking the things you like, for feeling the way that you feel,
And doing the things that you do, and dressing the way you dress. I don't know, man. We in this for life, bro.
we are.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way.
I was going through interviews and everything, and you touched base on like shoes. What was it? It was the one interview where you guys were talking about shoes, and we're mentioning. I think it was Charlotte that was saying it's like, okay, no, we go to Payless, we go to Walmart, we go to all these things because you're gonna grow out of them anyway. And I was like, that's so real because it's true. We went through that. Like,
You're gonna ruin them anyway, I promise. 5 times of wearing them, they're gonna look like trash, and you're gonna be angry that you spent $200 on a pair of shoes. Just go to Walmart. People are gonna say something about it. It's totally fine. I promise.
yeah.
Don't get over it.
And then Robin was saying like, I wore $400 shoes in a match. I was like, what?
Did, and I told Charlotte, I think it was in that interview I was saying I accidentally, because my friend had given them to me, he said my wife, I had bought them for my wife, she didn't like them, she couldn't fit them, do you want them? I said, yeah, I want them. And I had one of my biggest matches of my career at the time, and I wanted to look like something. I was wearing street clothes, and I was like, well, I gotta at least wear the Jordans, like some nice Jordans. So I go out there and I wear my Jordans, and I come to find out they're $400 Jordans. Afterwards.
How were they at the end of the match? Did they come out like
They were
perfect?
fine. I've worn them. I've worn them out plenty of times afterwards.
They're ruined now.
Yeah,
They're ruined now. But they were pretty once upon
they
a
were
time.
fine. They were fine.
People get surprised? I'm like, no, I don't invest money in like brand names and stuff like that, especially shoes. I like cute shoes.
Yep.
I like shoes that look good, but I know me. I know I bump into things. I scuff things.
Yep.
Like I don't know. It's just the way I'm probably walking funky, but I know like it's like there's always marks all over them, and it's like I
Yep.
cannot do that to an expensive pair of shoes. I just can't.
Right.
And in my mind, I know like say yeah it'll last longer, but then at the same time say if like you get your money's worth, it lasts longer. But I'm a person who likes variety, and I can't commit to one shoe.
Yep. Because I can't justify the price for 6 of them. I get it.
I was gonna
girl.
say,
I get it.
so I'm a very practical person. When I buy shoes, it's always a black shoe with maybe a color on it, but like the whole shoe is basically black. And I refuse to buy like colored shoes because to me in my brain, it's not worth the $20, the $3. It's not worth the $60. It's not worth any of the money that it costs to buy that
They're not
shoe because I'm
universal.
never going to be
Yeah.
able to wear it.
So you have one outfit you can wear it with.
Occasionally, if I wear something of color and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get pictures taken in this, I'll get that.
Yeah.
It's worth
Yes.
it.
When
For
there's
the
going to be
too.
the proof, yes. We have lots of outfits that we don't wear them yet because we're like, we bought them with the intention of wearing them in a like photo shoot or something. And then we don't have the right shoes. So we're like, we'll go get the shoes later and do it. No,
Or we bought like I know for a fact we went to LA for Walleye Mania and we bought a pair of shoes and dresses, and we've never worn the pair of shoes or the dress since, and
Nope.
probably won't ever again. It just
I got
those are all
I
over
really-
Instagram. I was gonna
it's
say
the
those are all over
gold dresses
Instagram.
that we wore.
my goodness, do you like wearing dresses? The me I used to be prior to WWE, I never wore skirts. I never wore dresses. Ever. Like if my mom made me, it's like, oh, it wouldn't last long. It would not last long. Even if I go to Vegas with my friends, it's like, Melina, why are you the only person without a dress? Well, I
don't
we're
want to
gonna
wear a
be.
dress.
I gotta wear comfortable shoes and pants because I'm not gonna be the person who's like face down, ass up in a dress.
That,
Hell no.
that.
Robin and I are way too energetic and wild, and not in like we drink and we get wild or we do anything illegal. We're
I just move too much. I'm so much of a guy, and I like to say that about myself. I am such a tomboy. I'm so much of a guy. I'm currently sitting here in like two basketball shorts. Basketball shorts. You know what I mean? Like, and like I was sitting there the other day. Me and Charlotte were at an airport, and someone walked by and they noticed because Charlotte was crocheting, and she was sitting there. She's crocheting, which is great. I crochet too. Look, there's nothing wrong with crocheting. So Charlotte's crocheting, and I'm sitting there with like my beats on and my legs open, and I'm like playing on my phone, and I'm leaning back. And someone walks by, and they looked at us, and they go, "Man, you can just really tell the personality difference here. Like, there's such a personality difference." I'm a little old lady.
When you said the personality difference, I do see it. And it's in talking to you guys. I haven't spent enough time with you to like see those outside of wrestling setting, you know, to notice all those things. I haven't been around. But to listen to you talk, I could tell that, like, I could see the difference, you know, on the subjects you talk about. Like, oh my goodness, it's so cute. But let me go back because I'll forget the crocheting.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was like the only person I knew that crocheted that wasn't like 80 years old or something. Aww. When I first started, I was a teenager and I did it because my mom, my aunt was like major. She could like talk and do stuff and point things out while crocheting. I was like, damn.
I can't do that.
But it calms my nerves and I like creating something.
I do crochet. I love it. It is very cathartic. It lets my brain like shut off. Yeah, it calms me down. My brain moves too fast a lot of the time.
Our whole family is a family of artists.
Yes.
It's just I feel like Charlotte's medium she decided to pick was especially like, and we go through mediums like once every year. We'll decide I want to choose a different thing to play with, you know, and we'll get real into that one thing and then we'll change it. Like I know when I was a kid, I was really into charcoals. I was really into painting. I was really into clay, and like my parents bought all of that for me. So Charlotte, I just feel like she's now at a point where she's able to buy the things that she wants and pick the medium that she wants to play with. And she picks yarn. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, I love it. It's fun.
It really is. And then you start seeing all the things that other people do. I like these, like there's these hoodies and I'm obsessed with scales. So when you make those hoodies with the dragon scales straight down, it looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
It takes time. The stores know there's people out there that love crocheting and they hike up the prices on one little bundle of yarn. I was like, bitch. Like, are you serious?
Yeah. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, is this worth it? You know, it's only going to get a third year project done. You're like, heard.
Yeah, that's halfway through where I'm at. I'm working on a blanket for my boyfriend right now. And I've put 3 balls of yarn into it.
I think she's like 3.5 skeins of yarn.
Yeah. And I am only like maybe a quarter of the way through his blanket. And I'm just like, I want to pull my hair out.
People ask me, they're like, can you make a baby blanket? I was like, okay, a baby blanket is simple, but still.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the process of making 2 of them right now. I just finished one for a friend who she's due so soon, and I'm so excited. And then I have one to make for my cousin. Yeah, and I'm really, really excited to make both of those and give them to him. It's like my first gift to someone of crochet, and I'm just really excited to give it to him. I'm like, take it, please. I made this with my hands. I love you so much.
I love that so much. And see the dimensions of who you guys are, because let me go to another. I'm going to be all over the place because it's just everything that pops into my mind when it comes to you guys. So again, I'm watching interviews and I'm listening to when they ask you that, what made you want to get into wrestling and everything? And I don't know. I want to say that, was it Robin, was it you that you said like it was because of like the screwdriver in Jeff Hardy or somebody's ear during one of the like.
Char.
Was it Charlotte? And I was like,
yes. And it was Randy Orton with the screwdriver. Yeah.
And then you also said, and I don't know if it was the same one or another one, you also said, like, yeah, I remember the first time I watched wrestling, it was with my dad, and it was Great Khali, and he grabbed his head, like the guy's head. I don't know who it was. I just remember his face turning purple, and he just squeezing
Yeah.
it. I don't know. This kind of sounds like all the signs of a serial killer. You love that screwdriver.
That's all her. That's all her. Everything that she said is her. Oh, after that interview, I looked at Robin. I even said, I sound nuts. I sound insane. Like, I sound like I just want to kill everybody.
But she'll crochet you a blanket.
And I'll hug you and I'll love you and I will everything, but don't piss me off.
I tell my parents a lot, or my dad, I used to tell him a lot, but my mom too. I'm like, I am so sorry when I used to say this. I'm so sorry when I acted like that. I'm sorry I didn't appreciate this.
Yep. No, we've had those few conversations with our parents too. Yep. Our parents are super supportive though. Have you met them a time or two?
And I'll be honest with people. If I don't remember, I don't remember. And it's not like a slight. It's like I developed this brain where everything's always on the go. Hurry up and wait. Travel to the next place. Travel. I forget a lot. Unless it's like stuff that I have to be consistent about. I'll forget faces, names sometimes. But sometimes I talk to people and the memory, I'm like, oh my goodness, it starts coming back. But everything I say to people in that moment, if I tell you you're a sweet soul, if I tell you I loved your smile, if I told you thank you for something or appreciated something, that is real.
That's genuine.
It's genuine. It's not like a lip service. It's real. And that's what I mean. So don't feel bad if I forget.
No, we don't feel bad at all. No, I met one ref for 9 months straight. Like I had never met the man. He had reffed multiple of our matches. I had met him multiple times throughout the month. And it took him 9. I could have had a child. Could have given birth to a child before this man looked at me in my face and said, I have met you for the last 9 months straight, and you do not know who I am. And I said, dude, it's nothing against you. My brain, when I'm working, is off somewhere else. I promise. It's not you. I had someone this past weekend walk up to me. She's another wrestler. And the last time I saw her, she was pretty early on in her indie career, starting in her indie career.
Yeah, you change. You look different when you start.
Yeah. And so I walked up to her and I said, hey girl, the glow up is real. You look great. And she goes, oh friend, I remember what you told me the last time we had a conversation. And I said, what did I say? She makes your face go, no. I was like, oh no. She goes, well, you just told me to get new gear and do more reps and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I said all that to you. I'm so sorry. That's not my place. I'm sorry. That's not my place. I was like,
did I say it in a nice way, or was I like
right? And that's what I asked her. I was like, did I come off condescending? Because I don't remember saying this, and I'm so sorry. And she goes, no, I took it the way you meant it. It sounded like you were trying to just really give me advice, and I really took it, and I really took it to heart, and I just want to say thank you. And I was like, I'm so upset that I don't remember this, and I'm so glad we had this conversation. And I'm glad glad you're doing good, boo. But I went back to her a year later, 2 years later, and I was like, girl, I don't know what happened, but it worked. And she was like, you happened. And I was like, oh no. My bad. What is it? Sweet tea. Homemade sweet tea. We got this this was at a convention we did. This was River City Wrestling Con. I don't know if you can see that. Nope, you can't. Not at all. But it's on there. That's cool.
I was at that one with you guys.
This is the mug that they had that year. There was a little family that always came to dark tapings in Orlando all the time, and they were always in the front row. They showed up to a few of our school shows. They showed up to a few of our indie shows, and we've just really befriended them, and have just we love the baby. Yeah, we love our baby renegades. We love the children. Love them. We love the children. Not so much the parents, but the children are great. Parents are great too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You gotta love
I was just kidding. I'm just kidding. Without the parents, we wouldn't have any babies. But with that being said, no, there were some little kids there, and we decided to let them, because they had showed up right as the show was starting. I think it was a 12 p.m. or a 12 noon show. And they had all showed up, and their parents were like, all right, we're going to go walk around. And the kids had just hung around, and we were like, all right, cool. Yeah, they were all just back behind our table selling merch with us. So we decided to go get a big mug of something for everybody to share.
Wait till you guys see your little kids, your little renegades grow up.
Doing it. They're all on that weird cusp right now of like being, because we've known them for at least the last 3 to 4 years. So we've really had the time to watch them start growing up, and like they're able to talk to us about kind of like more adult things. And I'm like, this is weird. You're supposed to be my baby forever. You're not supposed to grow up yet.
I'm gonna say we try really hard to keep a connection open with the children. So like when they do see us, they are able to sit down, and when we ask them about school and how everything's going, they feel like they can speak to us about it.
Yeah.
And most recently, the little girl that sent us that little pet care package, I saw her in a video, and she
really pulled out her inner renegade. She pulled out her little inner renegade.
First off, my first thought when I saw her, she's like doing an interview at someone's school outside of a show, and she the first thing I noticed was she was tall, and she looked so much more mature than the 3 months ago when we saw her. I was like, oh my God.
Like, she's not a baby anymore. And then she looked at this man and goes, do you know the Renegade twins?
And he goes, yeah. And she goes, yeah, they're my sisters.
And we're sitting behind, like, I'm sitting here at home like, yes, ma'am. Yes, we are, baby girl. You tell him.
And he was like, well, you let the Renegade twins know if they need a manager. And she goes, well, I think they already have a manager and they don't need a new one. And I was like, girl, stop.
I was like, yes, channel more of that. But yeah, it's amazing to receive these gifts from these kids and realize how much of an effect that us as wrestlers have on these children's lives. Because you just don't, wrestling just seems like fun, and to a lot of people it seems stupid, I guess. And that there's really no like bigger picture to it all, but there is. And our babies really do make us realize that what we're doing is not just a waste of time, and it's not stupid or play wrestling or fake or whatever whatever insult anybody wants to put to it. There is a reason we do this, and it's not just because it's fun or whatever.
I think it's wild to look back and think 2 or 3 years ago, Charlotte and I would have never thought that we would have little girls come up to us and say, Mommy, I want to be a renegade. I want to look like her. I want to be like her. Even little boys.
We have our fair share of little boys too, and I
like
love
little boys who come up and they just love us. And I just the impact that we have on children is wild, because I never would have thought I would have never thought the Renegade twins as a gimmick would ever be a child's favorite. We are very aggressive, very loud, and in your face, and angry. We're angry. We're not happy people.
I never thought that Robin and I would be what little kids look at and go, I want that. I'm gonna be that. I never thought that's what we would be at all, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's just very surreal and very eye-opening as to what exactly this business is and how big of an impact you have outside of yourself and outside of the people that you affect in the ring, or the direct fans that you see that come up to your table or speak to you online.
Yes.
There's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we don't even realize yet.
What you guys did, and you unknowingly did, and I think maybe a significant amount of us do that, is you became a representation of somebody or something that you needed to see, whether it was looks, personality, the way they speak. That's who you became. And that's why when people look at you and they love you, it's because you represent something that they wish they could be, or they are like, that's something that's like, that's them already. But the world probably tells them like there's something wrong with them, or they're too much, or probably not. They're probably like, you're cool. Like,
I was gonna say, I will say this.
We've definitely received those comments about you're too much, or you're too loud, or too angry, or
very recently, mind you. So with that being said, like, I feel like, and this is where it gets a little personal. I personally have been told that my entire life. I'm too much. I have too big of a personality. I'm too angry. I'm too this. I'm too that. And I do think that there's truth in some of it. But I think that the biggest part of it is to be able to filter yourself, be able to filter the certain things that might come across too much.
pick and choose the times that need to be too much. I still am learning that currently. I still cannot do it to this day. But I feel like no matter what, everybody has a bit of too much in them. Everybody can be too much. Everybody is not enough and too much all at the same time. And I personally feel like the one thing that the Renegade twins have proven and still continue to prove is that no matter what you say about us, we got it in the bag.
And we are unapologetically us 100% of the time.
And we want everyone who watches us and everyone who feels like they're a part of our circle and can call us friend or say you want to be a fan of ours, feel the same way. You should be empowered. You should feel like I run this. I'm the best. And humbly, of course, you know, but always be
in the
confident.
words of Barbie, you are enough.
Yes.
That sounds so stupid.
Enough.
But that's kind of how we have, like, we go out there and we are unapologetically us. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And that's kind of how we walk through life too. Like, and that's, we want people to feel that way. Go out there and be the crazy you, and screw it if nobody likes you. That's okay. You don't have to, like, not everybody has to like you all the time. And that's okay too.
Like we said, there's filters.
Yep.
There's a way to learn. And again, we're 23 years old. We're still trying to figure this out.
You're gonna be trying to figure it out for the rest of your life. Like, that's what
yeah. That's what I hear.
But nobody says that because everybody wants the illusion that they got it all together and they have all the answers. No, everything's always changing. We're always changing, and that's okay. Like, you know, that's just life. And the thing is you're never too much. It's this thing where it's so weird how all these different personality types I've met where people can be too quiet, or they are genuinely really reserved, and that's who they are. That's their safe spot and all this stuff. And then there's people who are like a lot. It's considered a lot for the fact that people don't know how to approach it. So it's like, yeah, like you said, and I love that you said that it's about learning how, like, filters. It's just learning how to reel it in and then take in what you like and coping with it or handling it or like waiting for the moment of like, okay, wait, I'm saying whatever's going through my mind and it's just going out there. Wait, I should just stop for a moment. But you have a personality type that's questioning the world, that's very that wants to know everything, that wants to be a part of everything, that is angry about something. Hey, let's figure out what you're angry about. But that doesn't mean that the child is problematic or anything like that. You are just energetic, intelligent, and wanting to go out and try things, see things, do things, everything. And that's all it was. And I'm glad that you saw that about yourself because you helped yourself in doing that. And I'm so proud of you for that. And when it comes to every person's personality, just embrace who you are. And I love that you send that message. And I love that you tell everybody that. And I think that's something that they need to see. Like, maybe if I say something like that, it wouldn't take well because I'm older, but because you're 23, it will take well because they see themselves in you. And I'm glad that you're sending out messages like that because it needs to be heard.
Well, we try. And as much as Robin has that quote unquote too much gene that people say, I'm very much the opposite. I'm very quiet. I'm very reserved. I don't really talk to many people.
People say Charlotte's been too quiet her whole lives. People have always said that. Yeah, we're very the opposite of each other.
Yeah, polar opposites, yin and yang.
Charlotte loved pink. I love blue.
It was stuff like that, like little things, very little. If Robin loves something, I love the complete opposite. If I love something, Robin loved the complete opposite.
Charlotte, so I'm not a very big crier. I get very angry.
I cry at everything.
Where Charlotte gets very sad and she cries. I get angry.
Or I get happy and I cry. Or I get angry and I cry. I get sad. I cry. It doesn't matter what emotion it is. If it's a very overwhelming emotion, if I'm going to feel it and feel it completely, I'm going to cry. And it's Robin. Yeah, I'm a gangster who cries, y'all. Y'all can get out of here with that. And I cry a lot too.
Those are ones you worry about. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, honestly, if I'm angry and I'm crying in your face, you might want to get out of the way because it's not about to be good.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah, I used to do that, or I probably still do. I just control my emotions better now at my age. But if it's like I cry because it's what I did because I couldn't like break something, and it's like, oh, I can't break anything because last time I did that, I paid a lot for that. And like trying to contain it, and then it just comes out in tears, and it's just like, okay, that's way better than all the other stuff I could have done. I think Robin needs to cry. You'll probably feel angry. You'll feel as angry. You just get something out, and once it gets out, it's like, okay, I'm good. It's like when you're sick, when you're sick and you throw up.
That I can see that. I find that when I cry, it makes me even more angry because
she doesn't like to cry. She hates it. She's like, I start crying and I get even more mad that I'm crying, and that makes me cry harder because like if I just start crying, that means I'm crying, and it's an endless cycle of just being angry and crying. I'm so mad. I'm so sorry about yawning. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm so sorry.
That's what people say when they are being disrespectful.
Oh, dude. Okay, bye.
You got better things to do.
I just yawned twice while you guys were talking, and I was like, oh no, I look real disrespectful. I'm not trying to be.
Why are you yawning? There's got to be something to it.
Just tired, man. I'm like crashing. I'm crashing. I'm sitting here and I'm talking. I'm like, don't look tired.
Don't look tired.
I'm trying. I don't know if you see me over here messing with my eyelashes. I'm like,
she's like, she's trying not to look angry because her face starts to settle and we start to look real angry.
Why are you always so angry, Robin? Why are you always so angry?
I'm just always an angry person. I don't know if I'm being quite honest.
You're not an angry person. You're just tired.
No, most of the time. I'm a happy person until
she's a very happy person.
Until something happens that I'm not good with. I'm happy until I'm triggered. Is really what it is. I'm happy until I'm triggered. Over the last 4 years of being in wrestling and trying to figure this whole thing out, I've realized that I had a very big temper when I was starting out. You could ask my trainers. I was the hothead of the factory. I was that person.
We were also really young when we started.
Yeah, I was 18 years old.
We were 18, so it
and we
were young. We were still trying to navigate those emotions ourselves.
We were diving into a very big adult business that we didn't even realize that you need to be extremely mature to be in and even try to wrestle. So I remember like when me and Charlotte would work together and she would mess something up or I would mess something up, we would butt heads a lot. Like a lot. And then eventually there was one day that Charlotte and I came to an understanding where we have to understand that like we're on the same team. That 90% of the time, even outside of me and Charlotte working together, 90% of the time I'm the one who messed up. And it's not anybody else's fault. It's mine. And I need to take responsibility for that.
But that's also like not just Robin, 90% of the time it's her fault. It's also 90% of the time my fault. Like it's probably not her, it's probably me. And if it's not me, it's like, you know what I mean? Like
but we
hold ourselves accountable, but also hold each other accountable.
I've tried really hard over the last 4 years to calm down my temper, be more understanding of, even if it wasn't my fault, how can we make it to be next time there is no issue like this? How can I help you? So next time, if it goes awry, it doesn't go that way. Or next time, how can I do this better? How can I change this? I have tried to get really hard into like the idea of this is a team effort. It's not just me and my sister. It's me and my opponents. It's me and the production backstage. It's me and my coaches.
It's us and almost every single person we come into contact with in this industry.
And so with that being said, my temper has definitely mild. It's not as bad as it was when I first started.
That's for sure. I'll give it to you.
But when I first started, I was the hothead.
And I was a crybaby. And I've definitely gotten better about not crying, but I was the crybaby. Robin would get angry and I would cry.
But now
and I would break down cry, like sit in a corner, like
now
not be able to move.
Now I feel like I get angry and I try to when it's something that I can't understand is when I get angry. And that's very like not often.
I will say you try to turn your anger into like drive, if that makes sense. Like she tries to channel it into something positive. how can I do this better? Not, let me be angry about this. She uses it as drive to continue to try and get better.
Tell me about when you guys were younger, because from what I heard, you guys you didn't always get along.
Oh, no, not at all. Oh my gosh, no. Everything was this. We were always like this. There was no this and this. Who gets a birthday party? We get a birthday party. No, I want my friends and I want my party at the skate rink, but she wants her party at the pool. What? No. Yeah. Why are we doing that? And that was the kind of stuff that,
it was stuff like that, and like comparisons.
Like getting
we got compared a lot. Yeah. And a perfect example would be like when we started softball. Charlotte was in softball for I would say 2 or 3 years before I got into softball. But when I got into softball, everybody just expected me to be Charlotte level, which Charlotte was playing like high school and travel teams going all over the country. This was my first season. I've never played. So we walk in and it was a very big comparison thing of Robin, you should be better, or Charlotte, you should be faster, because I was very fast. I ran the bases. Charlotte threw hard and she caught the ball and she played every position out on the field that I couldn't even touch, but I could run those bases and I could play the outfield.
And I couldn't run. I could barely save my own butt. No. I could get the job done, but not like she could.
Right. So it was a lot of comparisons of, Robin, why don't you hit the ball like Charlotte does? Why don't you throw the ball like Charlotte does? And Charlotte got a lot of comparisons of, Charlotte, why don't you run the way Robin does? Why don't you play outfield the way Robin does? Why can't you do all of it? You do so much, but why can't you do all of it? Robin, you do so much, why can't you do this? It was a lot of that our entire lives.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we got very in each other's faces with it.
I was gonna say, but that was outside of sports and stuff. That was with boys and with friends and teachers and just people in life, like there was always comparisons somewhere. And you can never, when you thought you had something to yourself, it was never truly to yourself. You're always sharing it with someone, whether you realize it or not, whether she's actively in it or not. The other person is constantly thinking, someone around you is constantly thinking of the other person, which still goes into today because we're always together. People don't ever see us not together.
No. And I also think it's wild that, like, I was just going to say, I think it's really crazy that all of a sudden we went from being compared to each other and hating it as children to now the only thing we want is for you guys to see us with
as one. Yeah.
As see us as one together, not one here and one here.
It's not, it's not, oh, that's a renegade. It's, oh, there's the renegade.
People have told us, like, they don't recognize just me or just Charlotte. They recognize the two of us, but there's one of us sitting there. They're not going to know who we are.
Especially when we're in that, like you said earlier, in comfy mode with no makeup on or anything like that. They don't recognize until they see two of us together. It's funny. I enjoy it though. I really, really enjoy it.
I can't tell what I can't tell is when I see you in the ring. And that's where it's because like I need to see like facial expressions and like hearing your voice. And when you're on the move and everything's happening fast, I was like, oh my God, I don't know who to call.
Hey, it's okay. Get us switched up.
You guys always do the best. Me and Charlotte at least have like the difference, like
around our waist. I got the X's and Rob just has a single strap. If that ever helps you.
Yes.
I have the crosses on my body. It's like a long shoelace basically. And then Robin just has a single band around her ribs.
But Charlotte also has her shoulder caps out and her mesh.
Yeah, my shoulders are out.
I don't have that. Mine are covered.
What is the biggest fight you guys had with each other?
There's been a lot of them, so I'm just trying to think. Like, when we were younger, we had physical fights.
What is the biggest?
I was gonna say I don't remember what they were about.
One where you can't get over. It's like I forgive you, kind of, but it's still lingering inside.
See, that's crazy because I don't think I really have.
I don't think I have any of those either. As much as I was mad at her in the moment, like I can probably think of one that I know probably Charlotte was real mad at me for. There was one time Charlotte had come back from college and she had brought her little boyfriend home from college and he had moved in and they was doing their thing. They were doing the whole thing and it was fine. Everything was cool until all of a sudden he started sneaking off and telling Charlotte he was going places he wasn't supposed to be going. And
He
then
told me he was going places and going other places. And now that Robin says this, at the time, I was very upset with what Robin's about to tell you she did. Now, I am like, you know what? I was stupid. I was about to call myself a different word.
I know she was real mad. But so one day, we had all been telling Charlotte for weeks that he was doing what we said he was doing
on you. He's going places he shouldn't be. And the whole time I'm like,
and like keep in mind,
boyfriend wouldn't do that to me. He loves me.
So we're like, okay, that's fine. So one day he says, I'm gonna go do this, and we pull up at where I was like, Charlotte, let's get in the car. We're gonna go pull up at where he's supposed to be at.
He left, and like 30 minutes after he left, we showed up where he said he was.
He wasn't there. So we pulled up where we thought he would be.
And he was there at this girl's house. How I knew this girl's address, the world may never know. Mom and Robin were detectives that day because I had no clue where this girl was, had no idea what her name was, nothing. I had no clue about it.
It didn't matter. She was some random chick, but it didn't matter.
They found her. And they found her address, and they found where he was.
So we pulled up, and he walks outside. Charlotte calls him, tells him to come outside. He walks outside. And right then and there, I told him, you can come get your crap. You can get it out of our house. You won't be dating my sister no more. Don't lose her number. You won't be talking to her. You won't be coming back in our house. If you need to come back in our house, you can come get your things, and that's it. And I kicked him out, and he never came back.
Oh.
She was mad.
I was very mad. But now that I look back on the situation, I'm like, yeah.
That was a big fight. I remember that being a big.
I can't believe he like lived in the house and had the audacity to do that. Go move in with her. And then he didn't. So what an idiot.
Right. And I felt so stupid. But Robin being my second pair of eyes, and I do the same for
I love
Robin.
this girl. I love her so much. As much as I want to, I love her so much.
And I love her too. As much as I do want to choke her out on a day-to-day basis, I love her. I love her so much, and I would kill anybody for her. I know that sounds so bad, but this is my girl. This is my best friend before I realized she was my best friend. My best friend through all the best friends that I've ever had that are no longer here.
I was gonna say, Charlotte and I got really close for a long time, and like that was the start of our wrestling career. Me and Charlotte were literally, you couldn't separate us, and that was before wrestling even started. It was right after Charlotte had come back from college. We had done that whole deal, and about 6 months later, me and Charlotte were inseparable. You could not find us without the other one.
Oh, I love
now
that.
it's to the point where I'm like, leave me alone.
Yeah,
and she does the same thing. Yeah. She's like, can I do anything by myself?
Yeah.
She'll be like, we'll be using the bathroom. One of us will be using the bathroom, and the other person just walks in and starts talking to him, like while they're doing their business.
Melina, I will go in and I'll book myself my own hotel room, and I made Charlotte go in and book your own hotel room. Don't, you're not staying with me. So when we get there, at first, when they booked our hotels, when we got there, they put us in like connecting rooms, our rooms right across the hall. And that was okay.
I love that.
Right.
I love a connecting door. I can leave that thing open and talk to you. Oh, girl, you're never getting away from me.
Dude,
it's too easy.
So I was cool with that at first. And then there was one weekend that Charlotte had literally just left the door open.
I did.
And she had just walked back and forth like it was one massive hotel room.
It was.
And I was so mad.
No, ma'am. It was one massive hotel room at that point.
So a few weeks ago, we pull up at our hotel, and the lady goes, I was like, hey, I'm checking in. And she goes, cool. And Shelly goes, I'm checking in too. And Shelly goes, can we get connecting rooms?
And she goes, no. She was like, I can get you a room across the hall. I was like, perfect. That's awesome. I was like, that's amazing. And it's literally, our doors are looking at each other like this. Yeah. And I'm like,
you're leaving
that's
the door
fine.
Open? I gotta see.
It's just nice not to have to run down the hall to the elevator, get on the elevator, then go to a whole nother floor and try to find her. I hate that. I like being able to remember she's right across the hall from me. Because, like, she'll carry some of my stuff in her bag, and I'll carry some of her stuff in my bag. And then we go to get ready because we do everything together. And we end up getting ready together anyway. If our room's already connected, I don't have to go anywhere. There's no dragging my suitcase through the hotel. girl, no. If you're
I
across
love
the
you.
hall, I just get to grab my clothes and come across the hall. We
love
can
you.
get to get dressed
Well,
together.
so across the hall is fine, but the connecting rooms where like literally Melina, she would like knock on the door, like
I would open my connecting door and be like,
I would close
love
it and
you.
lock it.
and I'd be like, unlock the door now. Unlock it, no locks, no locks.
There was one time, Melina, we went to go to bed and it was like 2:00 in the morning and I closed
just
the
left
door.
the door open.
She left her side open and I closed my door. And about 20 minutes later, she comes knocking. She goes, bop, 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 Robin. And I said, I'm in bed. Why? Why?
That's why you leave it unlocked so I can open it. Duh.
I was so upset.
What were to happen if there was a fire? I'm just gonna bang on that door. Pray to God you got out.
You're in a hotel.
Cool.
You have your own door.
Door's different from me. How am I gonna know if you got out of the hotel? Okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
Think about it like that. The whole thing goes to topple over, and I'm not anywhere near you. How do I know you're okay?
I got a phone.
Is that
And
is that
and you didn't knock out all the cell service around everybody. It's all gone. Everything's gone. Stop. What do I do?
these worst case
Okay, so
scenarios?
got a point.
Hey, you gotta have the worst of the worst case scenarios.
Let's go straight to UWW and the tag team title. How did it feel when you won the titles there? Like the first time, because I missed all this. I'm new. I missed the whole.
It's always an honor to get a belt. Especially ones that like haven't been held before. That would make our third one
As inaugural.
Yeah, our very first inaugural championship ever, and every single time that we get something like that, it's always such a huge honor because we're the first people you decided to open this division with and put the face of your company. As far as the women, like the tag team women's division, that's us. So with that being said, it's very heavy.
I was gonna say heavy is the head that wears the crown. It was very surreal, honestly. I don't know, it gives Robin and I the motivation, and just it lets Robin and I know that we're doing the right things when we feel like we're not going anywhere and we're not doing anything. It lets us know that we're doing the right things and like in a way. Because like Robin said, this is our third inaugural tag championship. And I don't know, I want it to be good. I want women's tag to be so good. And it's just an honor to be able to be a part of that and to help lead the way for women's tag. I don't know. I'm just really excited for the future of it. I'm excited. I'm anxious. You can obviously tell I'm talking a lot.
I would say that it feels great.
I don't know. I'm just really excited for the future of it. I'm excited. I'm anxious. You can obviously tell I'm talking a lot.
I would say that it feels great. It's a huge honor. I would also say it just makes everything seem more kicked up a notch. Like we have bigger shoes to fill, like it's not just a belt. It's the first one. And then I would also even say like you want to set an example. I don't know. It's something that we personally want to always take into consideration of this is the first one of its kind. This is the first one here. No one will ever be able to say that they were the first. We were the first, and now let's solidify us as the first.
It's our responsibility to make this matter.
Yeah, to make this belt and this company matter and mean something.
There's a lot of responsibility that comes with holding a belt that a lot of people don't realize.
First got these belts at UWW. We had 3 crown champions that night. First ever at UWW. And I'm sure they all felt like, wow, I actually have to pave a way here. I have to make this mean something. And we've had title changes and they've all done amazing. Everybody has their own opportunities, and I'm just super excited to see what happens with that. Felt like, wow, I actually have to pave a way here. I have to make this mean something. And we've had title changes, and they've all done amazing. Everybody has their own opportunities, and I'm just super excited to see what happens with that.
I was told you guys are 5-0. So how do you feel about that? Their competition so far?
Easy breezy, beautiful. And that's how I feel about that. I don't know about you, Charlotte.
I was gonna be a little bit nicer. I was gonna say the girls tried. They tried. I wasn't gonna be like, dust them off my shoulders real quick. I was gonna say they definitely, all of these women, I will say thank you right now to these women who have come out and been a part of the UWW Women's Tag
Yes.
roster or division. It's hard. Tag is hard, and I'm just glad that there are women who are deciding to band together to form these teams and to understand wrestling. With that being said, it takes a very long time, and I think that to be the women's champs, we all need to practice a little bit more. And I think the Renegade twins have come out and shown why in the last 4.5 years, while we've been training and working our butts off, why we deserve to be the UWW Women's Champs. So,
I will say the last one that we had there was
be nice.
I am being nice. They put up a fight. Okay, they put up a fight. It was good. It was easy. It was fun. It was a good time.
How do you feel about your upcoming opponents too much?
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what these two women have to bring to the table.
They both have come out and they've both shown us everything that they can do. Well, let me not say everything. I'm sure they have a few things in their pockets,
a few
that
tricks
they're willing.
up their sleeve.
You know, they're up
they
against,
have a few tricks up their sleeve.
I was gonna say they're up against the UWW Tag Champs. I would assume they have something in their pockets. You know,
They better.
a little something. But with that being said, I think we got it in the bag, don't you?
I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say easy day,
No.
but definitely
a payday.
I was gonna
Like
say
we're-
a payday. We got
adults are
this.
still coming home with the Renegade
We still
twins.
got the gold. It'll be fine. We got this.
You being sisters aside, what's the strongest about you guys as a tag team?
What Robin can't do, I can do. And what I can't do, Robin can do. And when Robin falls flat, I'm there to pick it up. And when I fall flat, Robin's there to pick it up. And again, I know you said other than sisters. I'm going to use that as an advantage because our brains are very much connected. As that sounds so stupid and we have two separate brains, we can finish each other's thoughts and sentences. And if I look weird or I look like I'm moving weird, Robin can tell when no one else in the entire world can tell. I might look confident as all get out to everybody else, but Robin can tell that something's wrong and either I don't remember something or I don't know what's going on or whatever the case may be. And I also can do that for Robin.
I was going to say, I would even take out the whole sisters thing in that. I just feel like for the last 5 years, going on 5 years, if you spent your entire time with someone and knowing them and getting to know who they are and their movements and their mannerisms, I know who you are. I know how you move. I know your thought process. I know what you're thinking when you're not saying anything. And I feel like that is something no one else can say, whether or not we're sisters or not. The last 5 years, we spent every last waking day together, and no one else that I know in this business, as far as tag team goes, can say I spend my every moment with my tag partner.
Every day. I look at her when I wake up. I look at her before I go to sleep. Every single day.
It doesn't matter.
Right across the hallway. It goes back.
Even when Charlotte and I are not, and like she said, with the whole, I can tell when she's off. She can tell when I'm off.
We're still able to pick each other up and support each other when the other cannot say anything or doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll also say, and this goes back to the whole sibling thing, which I know we want to stay away from with this question, but I always feel like no matter what, me and Charlotte, it doesn't matter. We can fist fight each other, hate each other one day, but love each other the next. I can't do that with every other person. No one in this business can say that you've had the same experiences me and Charlotte have and be able to say that you walked through it. And the only reason that we can say that is because she is my sister.
I'm stuck with her. She's not going nowhere. She's gonna be here till I die. So
you stuck
better
with me too, bro. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's not normal people,
No.
There's a lot of tag teams that break up over a lot of very small petty things. And Robin and I have had some pretty large wrestling arguments where Robin and I look at each other and go, really? And we don't get the option to go, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. We care so much about each other and our lives and seeing each other be successful that there is no you get to walk away anymore. There's none of that.
Yeah,
we're in this for life.
You don't get to walk away, homie. Unless I'm broken and you broken, we're not walking away.
Or you don't get to walk away just because your feelings are hurt. You don't get to do that. This is us as a team. I know I can't do it without her, and I know she can't do it without me. And with that mindset, just that mindset alone, we couldn't be sisters. If we want, we could take out the whole sister thing out of it. I can't do the Renegade twins without this one. And she couldn't do the Renegade twins without me. There is no Renegade twins without the other.
I feel that way about any tag team.
And I personally feel that it's been 5 years, bro. We ain't quitting now. Like, we're too far into it. We're not quitting now.
We're too far into it.
I love that so much. And even though I try to take the sister part out of the tag team to try to see like, okay, what would you say? But the reality is that is a huge component when it comes to what you have to offer, when it comes to no other team can offer. You know her reactions, like each other's reactions. You know, even if it's a simple sigh or a look, you can read it and know what it means. It's a connection that nobody else has. And they can't have that extra step or that extra oomph when it comes to being a tag team. Like you were saying, people just break up and then they leave each other, and you guys will never do that. You'll always have each other back.
She's stuck with me. We in this for life, bro.
We are.
We're not going nowhere.
Wrestling, sistership, we are in this forever. You're not. I'll just say you're not getting away from me.
Stuck with me forever. Maybe backstage you might see a little tit and tat, little I'm angry at you, you're angry at me, but you will never see us on two separate sides of the coin.
Nope.
And that's the way I wish more people could experience life, to have that kind of person by their side and someone who has their back and that loves them so much that they will open up that hotel room door.
Like, I know it's 2:30 and I know you're asleep, but wake up.
Is there any message that you want to send to the UWW audience when it comes to your opponents, or just anything at all? Is there a final message before we end the show?
You can always bet on the Renegade twins. It's really the message. I don't know why you need to hear anything else. Come on, Melina. We already knew this. Come on.
Oh my goodness. I was expecting like love to all the fans and all this stuff.
Hey, hold up. You said about our opponents. You said about our opponents. We haven't gotten to the fans yet.
Hold on.
We haven't gotten to the fans yet about our opponents.
3 different things out there, and you picked one, and it was like, Melina, come on.
I'm going to say, firstly,
I'm sorry, I gave you options.
I was gonna say, Robin said what she said.
You, Melina. We love you.
About the girls, you can always bet on the Renegade twins. But if I have to leave you guys with a lasting message, be unapologetically you. Do not change yourself for anyone at all. And I'm gonna start crying.
Don't cry.
I don't want to cry.
Hold on. We'll say this, because we always have this whole moment where at the end of an interview we have this.
We tell this to our little renegades too. Like when we meet new little kids and they come up to us and they like are expressing themselves with their little costume or their face paint or whatever it may be. Be unapologetically you, and do not let anyone tell you that you are wrong for liking the things you like, for feeling the way that you feel,
or doing the things that you do, dressing the way you dress. You know,
remember, always treat people with love and kindness and respect.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
That we live our life by that. I know we might beat people up in the ring.
You would have to unto you.
That part.
But outside of that, bet on the Renegade twins. These girls going down.
Yeah, bro. Ah! Like I said, I'm a gangster who cries. Don't judge me. I'm saying we talked about crying the whole episode. It only makes sense that right at the end I start crying.
Keep screwdrivers away from her. I'm just saying.
Hey,
let her not meet Satnam Singh. She can't meet Satnam because
I love Satnam, but his hands, he looked at me the other day, his hands,
he could smother you.
His palm is as big as my face.
Oh my God.
He's huge.
He could smother you. It's great.
When I tell you about the Great Khali and how big that man was, the Great Khali is the whole reason why Satnam Singh's in wrestling. So like, I couldn't imagine.
It's great. He's great. Shout out to Satnam Singh too.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not gonna have them explain where you could find them on social media, because I've seen so many interviews where they don't get it right. They're like, wait, let me think. You guys ask each other, and it's like 3 years later.
It is.
Well, I'll just write it all down. You guys find it in the bio, okay?
Awesome. Thanks for not letting us embarrass ourselves.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that one.
Love you. It was great having you on here. I just want to hug you. I can't wait to see you on.
We love you too. Big hugs.
And everybody out there, we all love you, obviously, and thank you for
Yes.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put